Happy day, children. This is Crystal, your grade 6 English teacher, and happy to meet you all in yet another session. In this video, I'm going to discuss a very interesting and important grammar topic, the difference between a phrase and a clause, and the difference between adverbial phrase and clause. Children, in this video, you will come to know what is the difference between a clause and a phrase, and what is the difference between an adverbial clause and adverbial phrase. First, let me tell you what is a clause. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. And what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without a subject and a verb. So what is the difference between a clause and a phrase? A clause will have a subject and a verb in a sentence, whereas a phrase will not have a subject and a verb in a sentence. Now, a clause can either be an independent clause or a dependent clause. So, in the slides that follow, I will tell you what is the difference between an independent clause and a dependent clause. A phrase. A phrase is a group of words with no subject or predicate. So, a phrase is a group of words which make sense, but it does not give you a complete sense or meaning. Look at these examples. I have the word best friend. So now, best friend is a phrase. It makes sense. Best friend, it makes sense. But does it give you a complete thought or an idea or meaning? These two words combined together is just giving me the information that best friends. It makes sense, but it does not give you the complete sense. So here, friend is a noun. So best friend becomes a noun phrase. So you don't have a subject or a verb in a phrase. Look at the second example. Was working. Again, was is a helping verb and working again is a verb. So this becomes a verb phrase. Look at the next example. Very pretty. So here, pretty is a adjective. So this very pretty, these two words combined together becomes a adjective phrase. And next, look at the next example. Really slowly. Here, slowly is the adverb. So really slowly becomes an adverbial phrase. And the next example is in the bin. So here, in is a preposition. So in the bin becomes a prepositional phrase. So when you look at all the examples, you can see that in none of these words that are combined together, you have a subject and a verb combined together. So a phrase or a group of words without a subject and a verb component. Now, what is a clause, children? A clause is just contradictory to phrase. A clause will have a subject and a verb combination in a sentence. Look at the example. He plays cricket regularly. In this sentence, he is the subject and plays is the verb. So a clause is almost similar to a sentence. A sentence is also a group of words which gives you a complete thought or an idea. Similarly, a clause is also a group of words which gives you a complete thought or an idea. So it also has a subject and a predicate. So a subject, a verb and an object that makes a sentence. There are two types of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. So what do you mean by an independent clause? So children, are you all dependent or independent? Yes, you are all dependent. You depend upon your parents to make a decision. So you make a decision, you go and inform your parents, and your parents are the one who decides something for you. Similarly, the dependent clause also is dependent upon the independent clause to give a complete thought or an idea in a sentence. Then what do you mean by an independent clause? I can tell that I am independent because I make my decisions on my own. So I can compare myself to the independent clause. So I stand on my own, I make decisions on my own. Similarly, the independent clause also, it stands on its own and it does not depend upon any other part of the sentence to give a complete thought or an idea. Now let me give you an example for the independent clause and dependent clause. Now look at this example. You may sit. Here, you is the subject and sit is the verb. So when you read this sentence, you get a complete thought or an idea, isn't it? So this part of the sentence does not depend upon any other sentence. So this sentence is called as an independent clause. Now what is a dependent clause? The dependent clause also has a subject-verb combination, but it does not give you a complete thought or an idea. And therefore it is called as a dependent clause, and it depends on the independent clause to give you a complete thought or an idea. Now, when I read this part of the sentence alone, wherever you like. So when you read this part of the sentence alone, does it make sense, children? No. So even though it has a subject you and verb like, this part is just incomplete. It does not give you a complete thought or an idea. And therefore this dependent clause depends on the independent clause to give a complete thought or an idea. So when I read this sentence, you may sit wherever you like, only then I get a complete thought or a meaning to the sentence. Therefore, the dependent clause always depends on the independent clause to give you a complete thought or an idea. The independent clause can also be called as a main clause. So what is another name for the independent clause? It is also called as the main clause. As I told you, an independent clause will have a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone and give you a complete thought or an idea. So look at the example. I saw a man. So this part of the sentence is called as the independent clause. It has a subject I and verb man. So I saw a man. This part of the sentence gives you a complete thought. Now the dependent clause can also be called as a subordinate clause. Now look at this example. Who was crying? So here again I have a subject who and verb. I also have a verb crying. But was crying, who was crying? If I read this part of the sentence alone, it does not give me a complete thought or an idea. Only when I read the full sentence, I saw a man who was crying, we get a complete thought or an idea. Therefore, the dependent clause always depends upon the independent clause to give you a complete thought or an idea. There are actually three types of dependent clauses. There are three types: adjective clause, noun clause, and adverbial clause. In this video, we will be discussing about adverbial clauses, children. Children, before we move on to adverbial clauses, what is an adverb? What is the definition for this part of speech called as adverb? An adverb, it describes a verb, or it gives additional information about the verb or an adjective or another adverb. It tells us how, where, when, how much, and with what frequency a particular action is done. So it gives you answers for the questions like how an action is done, where an action is done, when an action is done, how much an action is done, or to what degree an action is done, or how often an action is done. So if it gives you the answer for the question how, it is called as adverb of manner. So under the adverb of manner, you come across words like quietly, peacefully, carefully, slowly, badly. And where refers to place. So where is, it refers to adverb of place. So under this you will come across words like above, abroad, far, away, back. And when refers to time. So under adverb of time you will come across now, yesterday, soon, later, tomorrow. And how much refers to the degree. So all these words which come under adverb of degree are quite, fairly, to, enormously, entirely. and how often refers to the frequency with which an action is done. So under adverb of frequency you come across words like always, sometimes, often, frequently and normally. Now let us discuss what is adverbial clause. Adverbial clause is a group of words that functions as an adverb. What is the function of the adverb? It describes or it gives more information about the verb, and it contains a subject and a verb. So an adverbial clause, it does the main function of an adverb and it has got a subject and a verb. Now look at this example. When the sun rises, we will escape. So this part of the sentence, when the sun rises, is called as an adverbial clause. When will we escape? When the sun rises. So when you raise a question, it gives you the answer for the question when. So when is related to adverb of time. So when the sun rises is adverbial clause of time. So again, in this part of the sentence, in this part of the clause, adverbial clause, which is a subject, children. The sun is the subject and rises is the verb. Next we are going to discuss the types of adverbial clauses. Number one is adverbial clauses of place, adverbial clauses of time, adverbial clauses of reason, adverbial clauses of purpose, adverbial clauses of condition, adverbial clauses of manner. Now let us discuss one by one. First type of adverbial clause is adverbial clause of place. So adverbial clause of place, it gives you the answer for the question where. So it shows the place and it answers the question where an action is done. Now look at this sentence. Ashraf walked where the road was empty. So where did Ashraf walk? Where the road was empty. So this part of the sentence, where the road was empty, is the adverbial clause of place. So here you have a subject and a verb, and where is the subordinating conjunction. Generally an adverbial clause will begin with a subordinating conjunction followed by a subject and a verb. Now look at this example. The children played nearby. So where did the children play? Nearby. So it gives you the answer for the question where. So if it gives you the answer for the question where, it means it is adverb of place. Look at the second sentence. The children played in the park nearby. Now this part of the sentence, in the park nearby, is it a phrase or a clause? Now nearby is an adverb and you don't have a verb in this sentence. So if you don't have a subject and a verb combination together, then that part of the sentence is called as a phrase. So in the park nearby, this part of the sentence, it makes sense but it does not give you a complete thought or an idea. So it is a phrase, and since you have an adverb here, it is called adverbial phrase, and since it refers to a place, it is adverbial phrase of place. Now look at the next example. The children played wherever they could find shade in the park. Now look at the underlined part, children. Wherever they could find shade in the park. So here, this part of the sentence begins with the subordinating conjunction whenever, and you also have a subject and a verb combination. So they, it is a pronoun, it can be a subject, could is a helping verb, find is a verb, the park, it is a subject, it is again a noun. So you have a subject and a verb combination in this part of the sentence. So therefore this part of the sentence is definitely a clause, and since it is referring to the place, park, we can come to a conclusion that it is adverbial clause of place. The next type of adverbial clause is the adverbial clause of manner. Adverbial clause of manner answers the question how. Look at the example. The rabbit is eating those carrots like he has never been fed. So this part of the sentence, like he has never been fed, is the adverbial clause of manner. Now when you raise a question, how did the rabbit eat the carrots? You get the answer like he has never been fed. So this part of the sentence is adverbial clause of manner. You have a subject and you also have a verb in this part of the sentence. Now again look at this example which is given below. He left the room angrily. Now look at the underlined word angrily. Raise a question. How can you raise a question? How did he leave the room? You get the answer angrily. So if it gives you the answer for the question how, then it is adverb of manner. So this angrily is adverb of manner. Now look at the next example, children. He left the room with a look of anger on his face. Now, with a look of anger on his face, is it a clause or a phrase? Again, this part of the sentence does not have a subject and a verb combination together. Therefore, it is an adverbial phrase. And why is it an adverbial phrase of manner? How did he leave the room? With a look of anger on his face. So it is giving you the answer for the question how. Therefore, it is adverbial phrase of manner. Look at the next example, children. He left the room like he had never been so displeased. Now, this part of the sentence has got a subject and a verb. He is a subject, had, you have, it is a helping verb. So, you have a subject and a verb combination together. Then, therefore, it is a clause. And it is an adverbial clause. And you have a subordinating conjunction like at the beginning of the adverbial clause. And how did he leave the room? Like he had never been so displeased. So you get the answer for the question how. Therefore, it is an adverbial clause of manner. The next type of adverb is adverbial clause of time. So adverbial clause of time, it shows the time and it answers the question when. Look at the example. You can't have ice cream until you eat your dinner. So you can't have ice cream until you eat your dinner. So until you eat your dinner, this part of the sentence is the adverbial clause of time. Raise a question now. When can't you eat ice cream? You get the answer until you eat your dinner. Therefore, it is an adverbial clause of time. Look at the example given below. The plane took off then. So this part of the sentence gives you the answer for the question. When did the plane take off? Then. So you get the answer when I raise a question when. So when relates to adverb of time. Look at the next example. The plane took off at the scheduled time. So is this part of the sentence a phrase or a clause? At the scheduled time. So you don't have a verb over here. You don't have a subject and a verb combination. Therefore, this part of the sentence is an adverbial phrase. And when did the plane take off? At the scheduled time. So it gives you the answer for the question when. Then it is an adverbial phrase of time. Look at the next example, children. The plane took off when the pilot got clearance from the tower. So now this part of the sentence, you have a subordinating conjunction when at the beginning of the adverbial clause. Then again you have a subject, the pilot, and you also have a verb over here. So this part of the sentence is called as a clause, and since we have an adverb, it is an adverbial clause, and it gives you the answer for the question when did the plane take off? When the pilot got clearance from the tower. So it's giving you the answer for the question when. Therefore, it is adverbial clause of time. The next type of adverbial clause is adverbial clause of reason. Now, look at this example, children. She failed because she did not study. Because she did not study. So this part of the sentence is an adverbial clause of reason. Now raise a question. Why did she fail? Because she did not study. You get the answer for the question why. Therefore, it is adverbial clause of reason. The next type of adverbial clause is the adverbial clause of degree. Look at the example, children. She is not so bright as she thinks she is. So bright as. This is the coordinating conjunction. So as is the coordinating conjunction that is being used here. Now, what does it answer? Adverb of degree gives you the answer for the question: to what degree or to what extent an action is done. Now, raise a question: to what degree here the action is done? So, to what degree was she bright? She was not so bright as she thinks. So, you get the answer: she was not so bright as she thinks. I hope you understood the difference between phrase and clause, and you were able to find out the difference between an adverbial phrase and clause. I hope this video was helpful for you children. Thank you.